when discussing the June 2016 Trump Tower meeting, you referenced, quote, the firm that produced the Steele reporting, unquote. The name of that firm was Fusion GPS. Is that correct?
And you're on page 103?
103, that's correct, volume 2.
I'm not familiar with that.
Well, let me just help you. It's not a trick question. Right? It was Fusion GPS.
How can Robert Mueller not be familiar with Fusion GPS? I guess my next question would be, sir, are you an imposter? Less than 24 hours after the Mueller testimony, and the creepy censorship-loving techies over at Twitter have decided to allow the Clinton body count and Clinton's hashtags to trend. Why? Before we get into that, you might be interested to know what the representative from Minnesota's 5th Congressional District, Ilhan Omar, has to say about who should be feared in this country and who we should start profiling.
A lot of conservatives in particular would say that the rise in Islamophobia is a result not of hate, but of fear, a legitimate fear, they say, of quote-unquote jihadist terrorism, whether it's Fort Hood or San Bernardino or the recent truck attack in New York. What do you say to them?
I would say our country should be more fearful of white men across our country, because they are actually causing most of the deaths within this country. We should be profiling, monitoring, and creating policies to fight the radicalization of white men.
Sounds strangely familiar to the communist news network's Don Lemon's assessment of the American landscape.
We have to stop demonizing people and realize the biggest terror threat in this country is white men, most of them radicalized to the right.
Well, Don Lemon's
Guys, make no mistake, there's an anti-white agenda afoot in this country, and as irony would have it, it turns out that those who cry racism the loudest are the ones who themselves are the most racist. Now back to the Clinton body count hashtag. There's an interesting article from True Pundit entitled FBI Rocked by Public Suicide of Top FBI Agent Who Investigated Clinton Foundation. It says, FBI agents are mourning the death of one of the Bureau's top financial crime supervisors who reportedly shot and killed himself on a crowded nightclub dance floor, according to top FBI insiders. Sources said Salvador Sal Cincinnati, a former Wall Street broker who joined the FBI in 2010, died last week during a night out after an FBI training session. Cincinnati was the supervisory special agent who spearheaded many of the FBI's high-profile and complex Wall Street investigations, including probing the finances of the Clinton Foundation. After leaving his Wall Street career, Cincinnati was first assigned to the New York Field Office, SDNY, and later promoted to HQ in Washington, D.C. Says he was a native New Yorker. One FBI insider said, very, very bright guy. Such a young guy. It really gets you in the gut. He put in the hours too, was always working hard. Apparently Cincinnati was 41. It says Cincinnati was reportedly out partying with FBI colleagues at the Container Bar, a trendy watering hole in Austin, Texas. The group had been drinking and dancing, according to sources. Later in the evening, Cincinnati reportedly turned a gun on himself on a crowded dance floor. Bar owner Bridget Dunlap did not respond to phone calls seeking details on the incident. Now guys, keep in mind, we don't know if any of this is true or not, but according to this report, FBI agents on site and police instructed witnesses to delete any video and photographs of the event and to clear out the bar. If that's true, it's very, very strange. Likewise, FBI officials instructed Austin police to not release any details of the death to the media, sources confirmed. Witnesses at the nightclub were also told to, quote, stay offline and, quote, keep quiet about the shooting. I want to know who these sources are. It's so easy to write an article and just insert, yeah, according to sources. The FBI has not commented on Cincinnati's death. According to his resume, Cincinnati was a supervisory special agent in the FBI's Complex Financial Crimes Unit. He managed the FBI's financial crimes program for the Northeast region and was a detailee from the FBI to the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, CFTC. Before working at FBI headquarters, Cincinnati led financial crime investigations in the FBI's flagship New York field office. Supposedly, Cincinnati conducted investigations involving market manipulation, corporate and accounting fraud, Ponzi schemes, money laundering, insider trading, and antitrust violations, among others. He worked as a fixed income trader prior to joining the FBI and held an MBA in quantitative finance from NYU's Stern School of Business. And they say the story is still developing. Now, the New York Post headline doesn't mention anything about the Clinton investigation. It says FBI agent brother to cop accused of murder for hire plot dead by suicide, sources. None of this murder plot is mentioned by the True Pundit for some reason. The FBI agent brother of an NYPD cop accused in a murder for hire plot killed himself while out of town with other agents, law enforcement sources told the Post on Wednesday. Salvador Sal Cincinnati, 41, was found with at least one gunshot wound inside the Container Bar in Austin, Texas, when cops arrived there shortly before midnight on July 16th in response to a report of gunfire. And that's according to a spokeswoman for the Austin Police Department. The spokeswoman, who wouldn't elaborate, said the incident is being investigated as a suicide. The Post says Cincinnati was a former Wall Street trader who joined the FBI in 2011 and led financial crimes investigations in New York City before being promoted to the Bureau's headquarters in Washington, D.C., according to biographical information posted online. His younger sister, NYPD cop Valerie Cincinnati, 35, was busted by the FBI in May for allegedly scheming to have her estranged husband killed amid a bitter divorce. She's being held without bail. Her defense lawyer says she's absolutely devastated by the passing of her brother and best friend, and this is certainly adding to the stress of her current situation. The Post said a since-deleted obituary said that Cincinnati died on July 17th and was buried in the Holy Rood Cemetery in Westbury on Monday following a funeral at St. Anthony's Church in Oceanside. In 2012, he was among several FBI agents interviewed by Reuters for a report on Wall Streeters who quit high-paying jobs to investigate financial crimes. In the article, Cincinnati says, "Some of my friends said, 'Are you crazy? Have you lost your mind?' Cincinnati also said his wife is initially furious with his decision because she was worried about his safety and unhappy with the FBI's lengthy training programs. The FBI declined to comment on his death. Guys, there's no mention in this article of Cincinnati being a top agent investigating the Clinton Foundation, which is kind of strange. You'd think that would be an important detail for this guy who supposedly committed suicide. As most of you already know, the Clintons have allegedly left a trail of dead bodies in the wake of their political careers, two of the most notable being Vince Foster and Seth Rich. I'll leave a link to this Clinton body count chart that looks like it might still be growing to this day. Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the Google Thought Police in the comments section below. If you guys enjoy these videos, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, and share it with everybody you know. Also, check out over 100 hard-hitting designs in the shirt store, and if you want to support more content, hit me up on Patreon or PayPal. All those links will be in the description and in the pinned comment. I'll see you guys in the next heavily censored shadow ban video.